am speechless. I don't know what to ask you.
If that's your kink, I'm so happy for you.
I will throw my old Kindle across the room because I'm not doing that tonight.
And now, here are your hosts.
Hello, fellow bookworms. Welcome to Bookmark Your Next Chapter, a podcast hosted by Katie,
Amanda,
And Kristen.
three friends who love books. So normally our episodes would consist of a half of a book, but friends, let me tell you, we had things to say. And so it is currently 9 p.m. We're recording this, and pregnant Kristen needs to go to bed. And we have been recording for how long, Kristen?
2 hours.
2 hours, and we covered the first 4 chapters. So,
To be fair, there's about like 20 minutes where I don't even remember what we talked about.
it's
And
just like theories and
It's
nonsense.
just books and stuff in general.
yeah, like there's nothing relating to what we cover, but
So this episode you're about to listen to is going to cover chapters 1 through 4 of the Crown of Gilded Bones, as well as about 25 minutes of intro that is not coverage of the book. We will put a timestamp of the exact time in the description of this podcast. So if you don't want to listen to that, you can skip ahead to just the coverage. But I mean, we have a fun time. So if you want to hang out with us, that's cool too. You know, you do you.
We want to hang out with you.
Yeah, we love you guys. As always, I will go into the ratings and I can confirm this time it's definitely rated R. We said a lot of, I know, at least I know I did. I said a lot of fucks and dicks and, you know, all kinds
there wasn't even any hanky-panky.
I know, but there was a lot of fucking assholes.
That there was.
So as you can see, we're going to be rated R, adult content, you know. We're discussing adult content, and as parents with kids of our own, we want to make sure that our listeners are aware. So, you know, maybe don't have your kids listen to this if you have children or nibblings or, you know, your neighbor, kid you're babysitting. I don't know.
Solid advice.
Does in utero count?
In
utero.
Because I can't.
I feel like under the age of like 4 months, you're good.
If they can't comprehend language yet, you're probably fine.
So you're like recording this. I'm like, I technically have my child with me and they can hear. According to my baby app.
But they can't discern what you're saying.
No.
They just hear sounds. And they're like, what is mother talking about?
Why is she talking again? I'm trying to sleep.
Don't you know it's fucking bedtime?
Yeah.
This is not their bedtime. This is their let's kick mom in the ribs time.
Poor baby.
Fair. So,
Anyway.
friends, we're going to get into the podcast now. Full disclosure, we came back and recorded this intro after because we realized we needed to cut this podcast off. But anyway, we're going to get into that now. We hope you enjoy it.
I was so tempted to Google things, though.
I am terrified to Google anything in this series.
Same.
Because
I'm like, I
want something
don't.
spoiled.
I have been so tempted. I'm like, I need to know this. And then,
What
like,
did you want to Google? Do you remember at this point?
I know there was something about the gods because I remember asking Katie, can you send me your list of gods?
It does get a bit confusing with like the gods and the king of gods and blah, 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 so
I remember that was one of them. And then I was so tempted to Google something else. Oh, Kieran and Poppy and Cass. Like, I'm like, are they going to be a three? Like, are they going to be
God,
a
I fucking
a
forgot, but I feel
throuple?
like every time I come here, I'm like, it's just pointing more towards it. I'm just not here for it, friends. It's just not my kink.
same.
If that's your kink, I'm so happy for you. But it's just not.
I feel like it works in certain situations. Like, I've read
It just doesn't seem like
reverse harem books where it's like the one female character has 4 boyfriends. And I'm like, yes, go queen. But I'm like,
this is not that dynamic.
well, the thing that like they're supposed to be like mates or whatever it was, heart bond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that to me says
One and only.
one and only. You're one and only. And like,
And like, I love Kieran and Poppy's relationship as friends, as
Yes.
siblings. And the thought of it going elsewhere is gross to me at this point because I'm like, oh, I love them.
They have that banter between
Yeah.
them.
I feel like
Yeah.
they were just so perfectly set up for a friendship that I'm like, if this is ruined,
I'm gonna be mad.
I will rage quit.
Yeah.
I will
Rage
throw my old Kindle across the room because I'm not doing that to my new one.
I was gonna say because you just got a new one. For
Yeah.
Sunday.
Thanks, friends.
But anyway,
Anywho.
we digress. R-rated podcast. We will be saying penis. And no spoilers. Okay, I think we've covered the gist. Should we get into this, friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Please do.
Because I doubt you guys notice this. There are chapter icons now.
Chapter icons? Oh, like photos?
Yes.
Oh no, yeah, I wouldn't know at all. I don't think
they were on the other ones. I very much noticed it on this one. Now I'm like second
like
guessing
little
myself.
badges, kind of like images.
I can show you if I turn
Ooh,
my
I'm excited about
computer
this.
around.
You're going to have to describe for our listeners.
Yes, I will. I'm just trying to like make sure I'm not lying out of my butt here because I'm like,
Okay, while she's looking that up, Amanda, how did you feel about this book? This you finished reading this first. And
yes,
it was a long time ago, so it's been
I'm trying to like kind of remember. I think like
we left off with a huge cliffhanger of holy fuck.
I did find it.
Crown is coming off. She throws it at her feet. She says she's a god.
Overall opinion of this book is I feel like we are getting a lot more answers on like
the lore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Which I'm all about that.
Yes,
like I've been like finally like learning about different things like that pull all of the like I don't know creatures, whatever you want to call them, together. Like how things work. Yeah. I'm enjoying that a lot.
Yeah. I think same. I feel like this was a good spot to end because it wasn't a huge cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And we got a decent amount of information.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But my notes, I feel like every time they get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mine did until my dog was very temporarily sick. He had the man. He was sick and he needed meds. But I have an Aussie. He's a little bit dramatic. He was 90% sick and there was about 10% dramatics, I think.
Dramatic effects.
He was having sad puppy days.
He was.
So
but
funny. Did you?
Yes. So we have chapter icons now. So before it was like a little like swirl, which I was like, oh, that's nothing. This time it is a sun with the dagger and an arrow crossing
emblem.
it.
It's the emblem.
It's the emblem. So I didn't know this.
Is it different at every chapter?
No, it's the same so far. So I know like Wheel of
like
Time.
The crest, right?
Yes, it's exactly like the crest that they describe towards the end of where we read. So when I'm reading this, I'm like, are we getting new POVs?
This is the one that is it the crest that she says if I was queen,
yes,
this is the one I would want.
With
okay,
the arrow
very
and
cool.
The sword and the sun.
And I would say they're like I can show you guys. I recommend Googling so you can see it at the top there.
Google.
So kind of describe it, Amanda, because this is your first time.
Okay, yeah. So it's like the sun is like has a bunch of spikes coming off it, kind of like squiggly ones, if you can imagine like that kind of sun. And yes, exactly. And yeah, there's the arrow is bottom left up to top right pointing, and then the dagger goes the opposite way. They're the exact same size, exactly how she kind of described. Yeah, it would be equal if she was
interesting.
Yeah, in power.
Which we will cover more.
When we get there.
Oh, I had no idea Castiel's name was spelled like that.
Audiobook reader listening at the Kindle.
How do you think?
Well, I knew.
She's read.
Oh, you did? Oh. So, okay, this doesn't even make sense why I thought this, but I really...
Like EAL?
Kind of. I really like the TV series Supernatural. I'm like embarrassing myself saying this. But anyways,
why?
I don't know why.
I love Supernatural.
I love it.
I watched it, but...
So one of the actors... Or no, his name is Castiel. And that's his...
Yes.
So I just imagined it spelt similarly to that for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though it's not even pronounced the same, but yeah, I thought it was like an EIL or AEL or...
Well, on that note, friends, I think especially Kristen, will be shocked to hear that this audiobook listener switched to Kindle Girly.
Dun, dun, dun.
So like how...
how did this come about?
Yeah, and like is it...
Okay.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to ask you. Like, is it more difficult? Are you getting through it faster? Are you gonna like...
Okay. Let me
explain, please.
Take us on a
set the scene.
Yeah, set the scene, okay? So as
it was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah, stormy night on
the
July
rain was
something.
Pitter-pattering against the side window. Sorry. I was helping paint the scene. I wanted to be included.
Okay, so as you know, my notes are always like probably too detailed. And so when I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm essentially transcribing it. So I press play, type, pause, type, play, type. It was getting very annoying. I won't lie. It was getting very annoying. especially when I'm trying to do it on my phone or like speaking it out. I'm like, what did they say again? Or if it's like a whole quote that I wanted to keep.
Oh, and you can go back.
Yeah. And so
Kindle, you can highlight notes.
Oh.
You can highlight it. And then you can actually view your highlighted notes throughout the whole book.
So then what happened was I definitely not illegally obtained a digital copy of this book. Definitely not illegally. I definitely purchased it. That's on microphone. And I found that I could copy and paste into my notes. And I'm like, oh, this is so much easier. And then I found myself reading ahead. I'm like, oh shit, no, I gotta press play. And then it was really slow compared to how fast I could read. And I slowly started shifting. Like, I'm like, well, I'll just do this part reading it. And then I'll switch back over to audiobook. And what I started doing, because I always find myself mindlessly going on videos on my phone before bed. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, shit, I was supposed to be asleep by now because I'm distracted and notifications pop up. If I was just reading my book, then I got like more calm before bed. Yeah. I was ready for sleep. And I was like, this seems a lot less daunting if I'm just going to read one chapter and then I'm going to go to bed. And that's how I finished the second half of this book.
Also, like Kindles have like such a soft backlight.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to go to sleep, it's not as harsh as like a phone screen.
So then, I guess
so that actually like
into Kindle because
actually
works on my
works.
phone initially, just on.
Oh yeah, you were.
And then Kristen, so our huge group of friends, because we always do this for each other's friends' birthday. We're like, what's something really big and expensive that you would want but wouldn't want? Like probably wouldn't buy yourself because like, oh, I got to save that money for bills or whatever. And so we always go in and we split it, and that's what we do for our friends. And Kristen's birthday was a few weeks ago, and she had wanted the new Kindle. So we all
and like I couldn't justify, like I have a Kindle that works, but I'm like, I just want. Yeah.
Now 3.
Now I have 3 Kindles.
Exactly.
So
do I
had a Kindle that worked.
You can't
because they last forever.
Yes, they last. Like my original Kindle, the one that Katie borrowed. Literally, I got it over 10 years ago.
Really?
And that bugger still works.
Yeah, I looked up the version code. It's 2011.
Yeah.
So 14 years ago.
And
like not slow at all.
No.
Like, you think like a tablet that old, right? It's going to run like a turtle. No.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like it still works. And like I don't even know how I justified the next one. I think the battery didn't hold as long. I'm like,
well, and probably because they got rid of the buttons on your next model.
Yeah, I kind of like the buttons though sometimes.
Did you?
Yeah, it's like I'm not touching the screen. I'm not getting the screen dirty. Now I don't care. But anyway, I wanted the new one because it had like just some slight updates, like the charging ports. The screen's a little bigger. But I'm like, I have a functioning Kindle. I want it, but I can't justify it. Especially when I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
Perfect excuse.
So it was a perfect birthday gift.
So it was a perfect gift.
We went in on that, and Kristen's like, well, if you want to try out a Kindle, like you can have my.
So you've never used a Kindle prior to this?
Never,
okay,
ever.
Interesting.
And she's like, you can just use this if you want, see if you like it, and then if you decide you want to buy one, cool. And if you don't, you're not out any money. So I was like, okay, cool. So I bring this Kindle home, and it took me a hot minute to get it going. Kristen had to help me set it up.
It's because it's so old.
Yeah, and it's not touchscreen. I kept trying to poke the screen, and she's like,
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
We live in a world that you just assume it's touchscreen.
Then, like, I was helping her, and I'm like, Katie, it's not touchscreen. You can't do it.
Multiple times she had to tell me this. Multiple times.
Then I go and touch the screen, and she's like, Kristen, it's on touchscreen.
Oh, that's funny.
So I brought it home, and I read it, some of it that day while I was like sitting on the couch. And I was like, oh, this is kind of like really nice. Like on that one, it's a button. So you press the button and it flips the page, and it's kind of like you're reading for real. And I'm like, oh, this is like, I kind of like this. And then I went to go read at night. Well, it's 2011, friends. There was no backlight.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, this is going to be a problem.
You're like, well, this sucks.
If my husband's listening, turn off this next part. So then I went on Amazon.
Like everyone else would.
Right? And I'm like, oh, that's on sale. And then it just fell into my cart. And so, yeah, now
accidents happen.
So now I have a brand new Kindle, and I read
Oops. I accidentally clicked purchase.
But you know what? In my defense, 2 days later, he texted me and said he was buying a $500 car engine. So I'm like,
done.
Justified.
Guilt gone.
We could girl math this out to 0, though. You realize this.
Exactly.
The hours of entertainment that you will get from reading your Kindle.
Exactly.
Pennies.
Not to mention all of the people that love listening to this now. And I know it's going to be way more detailed.
Right, you're doing it for the
it's
fans.
A business investment.
It is. It's not for you. You hate this. You're just doing it for everybody else.
I just not fucking selfless.
What a sacrifice.
But anyway, highly recommend. I read one chapter every single day before bed, and I felt like I didn't have to rush through it. And I could be like, I didn't understand that. I can just reread it.
See, that's so nice. Because I get to a point where I'm like, I don't think I totally
Amanda,
got what that was.
Do you want to borrow the Kindle that Katie now doesn't need?
I don't know. Am I going to end up buying one?
They're on sale right now.
Shit. Maybe I'll bring it home.
But you know what?
I don't think
I was like, I'm not going to have time. I won't have time. But it's kind of nice, especially for this, to read, and then I can do my audiobooks for like the books I don't have to take notes on.
Yes.
Like I feel like I'm more dedicated to my notes with the Kindle.
Well, you can, I feel like it would.
And you just dedicate yourself. Okay, I'm just going to read for an hour before bed. I'm just going to
even just like I'm just going to read a chapter before bed. Like that. I used to read before bed. I think we talked about this in the intro. I used to read before bed, and I would hide my book under my bed. 99% of the time, I would fall asleep reading.
Well, yeah, it's really kind of, it makes you tired.
So it really like
yeah,
it's just a nice way to like, because I too get stuck in that like I browse TikTok and then I'm up an hour later than I meant to, and I'm growing a baby. Like I get very exhausted the next day, and then I'm like, now I got to go to bed at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock.
And friends, we're recording this at 7 p.m. on a Friday, and she's already yelling at us. So.
Because we're going to be past your bedtime.
Sleeping.
But it's true though, because like on a Kindle, there's literally no notifications. You can't see any text messages pop up. You don't see any notifications on social media pop up. It's literally just you and your story. And like, I don't know.
See, and there's sometimes at like bedtime that I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll just listen to this, but I'm afraid I'll fall asleep and it'll keep freaking reading. Like if you literally doze off reading, like who cares? That's just where it stops.
It might mess up your reading time, but that's about all. That's all it's going to do. Yeah. Because it'll estimate like. Oh, so that's the other thing I love about Kindle. I don't know if you watch that. No. It'll say so at the bottom, if you tap, you can go through like your location, your percentage, or it'll say like 2 minutes till the end of the chapter. So sometimes I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm like, I should just go to bed. I'm like, 2 minutes. I'm just going to read it.
Oh, it bases it off of your like
off your reading space. Yeah. So how many, like it kind of calculates it and it'll modify it.
And these new ones that like, so like mine does it too. And Kristen's new one does it. They come with magnetic cases now. So as soon as you close it, the magnet knows you've closed it and it turns it off. And then you open it up and it's right where you left off. Just like in your book.
10 out of 10.
It's pretty cool.
This is why I wanted it.
I think the first 10 chapters I did audiobook for this, and then I switched over to the Kindle.
Do you imagine the voices the way that, you know what I'm saying?
Do,
and like their accents and everything?
And I finished Throne of Glass. I will not give any spoilers, but I will say I preferred ACOTAR. But I think my big reason for my preference of ACOTAR is because I cannot stand the audiobook reader for that book.
That makes me so sad, because I loved Throne of Glass. Like, ACOTAR still holds a special place in my heart, and it always will. But I loved Throne of Glass, and I don't feel like you got that same experience. And I'm like, I feel like the narrator ruined it for you.
I literally felt like I was forcing myself to finish it because I'm like, I cannot stop. I need to know how this ends. But like
But it was driving you crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
It was a slog. I won't lie. It was a slog.
Like, that makes me so sad.
I know. So I want to try reading it again on the Kindle and see if I get more enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
Because she's awful. I don't... Listen, friends, if you know, you know. I'm just going to leave it at that. But she's not good. Anyway, we
haven't even started the notes yet for this.
We have not.
No. So anyway, chapter icons, I thought we're getting new point of views. That was my immediate thought.
And foreshadowing, really, because it was right at the beginning. Yes. And so that's really cool.
Yeah, so the moment they're like this, I'm like, it's the chapter icon!
Cool. Like, it makes sense now.
I really I'm interested to see if we get new point of views. And I'm curious on your thoughts on that too, because I know you read a book once for like 3 books and it was one point of view, and then it changed, and you're like, I hate it.
Do you know what? Do you think that's going to happen?
I wonder because of the chapter icons.
Interesting.
I think Throne of Glass probably broke that for me, though.
You're okay with it now?
You're okay with it now?
Nothing but different viewpoints.
Because the Lunar Chronicles, it has that in it.
Yeah. What was it? Black Witch?
Yeah, Black Witch.
Is that when you hated it?
And I did hate it at first because I fell in love with the character. Like, I wanted to continue the story in that perspective. And I felt like I was just starting a new book over almost.
See,
but then it tied.
I think one of the first books I read with different point of views was Wheel of Time, that 13 giant book.
Yeah.
And so many of the plots, like, because they were all together. just like a very brief, no spoilers kind of thing. They're kind of all together, the main characters, and then they kind of veer off on their own journey. So you're like, I need to know.
So it's like learning backstories on other people in their lives kind of things?
You're just kind of following them because they like this person goes this way, like this person goes like right. That took me too long.
That is, you're right.
And like
here's a tip for you. Our listeners didn't see what way you pointed. You could have just fluffed your way through that.
Well, I was like, I don't know if that's north. I overthought it. Anyway, character one goes like right, the other character goes straight on, and like the third character goes left. And so you're kind of like, you want to still follow all of their journeys.
That's interesting.
So it was and it was kind of like, I think almost from the beginning that this kind of happened. Like, I don't think one single book was in one single point of view.
I think that was my beef with the Black Witch Chronicles is the first. So it's a 5-book series?
Something like that. I still haven't read
Not counting the prequels. Don't read the last one. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it. That could have been an email. Really could have been.
Anyway.
And it's the longest book.
That is the best analogy on anything I've ever heard.
So anyway,
but
point of views don't bother to me.
Because the first 3 books were literally one person's point of view, and then she started experimenting with that, which is fine, but
you wish it would have happened sooner?
Yeah, consistency, friends. Like either all or nothing.
So that's why I think I was curious about this. I'm like, I wonder how Katie will feel, because the first 2 books have been one point of view.
I will not like it, I don't think. I don't want this. I don't want a different perspective.
I know. Especially if the threesome happens.
Oh, agree. That would make
I feel like I would like a different perspective, even like Kieran's, if we stay friendship.
I would like separate books
or Jasper's perspective
from their perspective. Like, I'd like to finish this story out,
my preference,
and then be like, oh, here's this little short. What do they call those? I forget.
Like prequels.
There's like I think there's a word for it. I remember there was a series I read. And
they do them like 5.5
there was one
or
book,
whatever.
I can't remember the name of the book. It was called like the second life
Twilight.
of Britannia. Is that what that was?
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm like, what was that series?
Britannia.
But yes, it was like had nothing to do with anything, and it was just this other character. I mean, it really had nothing to do with anything. I don't even think anything related. But
she was a very short mentioned character.
Yes, but it would just be cool to have a little snippet of that, of like maybe a key point of the storyline in that person's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I think would be cool.
I like having the different perspectives.
I think we need to get into this book.
Yes.
And also, we'll put timestamps if you guys wanted to skip our whole prelude and get right into the
that's a good idea.
review. We'll put timestamps in. So
lower your swords is how chapter 1 starts.
Okay, so just to recap real quick. End of the chapter was our huge end of our last book, was the huge cliffhanger where the queen takes her crown off. She sets it in front of the statue thingy. It has a more fancy name. I just can't think what it is. And
basically says, here's your new queen.
It goes up into flames and becomes Gilded Bone. And she says, please hail your next.
All hail your next.
All hail your next queen. And our minds were all blown. So I made a note here in the last podcast. We were talking about, we're like, was Cass bowing before Poppy or his mom? Remember we were having that discussion? He is bowing in front of Poppy. He's bowing to Poppy, his queen, not his mother. So
good to know.
That's
cleared that
up. Yep. So my note on that was, did he recognize Poppy for what she was before, or like,
is this the moment?
Like, did he notice it before his mom did that, or was his mom doing that, being like, oh shit, everything makes sense now?
What I interpret this is they both realized at that moment she was like part deity.
Yeah.
Like they all were like, whoa, and then immediately knew what she was.
Yeah, I think, and knowing what we know now, I think that's right. But in that moment, I was like, oh, did he know the whole time? So yeah, that's what I took from that. Kristen, I have like
notes for this one.
I'm not exaggerating, probably 20 bullet points for this chapter.
I have a decent amount too.
All right,
which is not
so. If you guys want to start this off, so I'm like,
my next note is, why is the queen, like, Cass's mom, angry?
She's angry.
So it starts. So Queen
Ileana.
Yes. This is how the chapter starts. Lower your swords, Queen Ileana commanded, her hair shining like glossy onyx in the sun as she sank onto one knee. The raw emotion pouring out of her seeped into the temple floors of the chamber, bitter and hot, tasting of anguish and a helpless sort of anger. So I'm like, why is she angry?
Just that maybe she's going to lose the crown?
Yeah, but they know it's their time to lose the crown.
Or maybe she's angry at the way that they just treated the new queen, maybe?
I had, like, not good feelings.
You're like, this is suspicious.
This made me very suspicious.
See, I like the mom, and I'd be really sad.
I don't think we've learned enough about her for me to like her.
I know, but, like, knowing what she's been through, I'm like, I want to like her, because, like...
I want to like her.
But you're not getting good vibes?
But I have not gotten good vibes yet.
I hope you're wrong. That'd be sad.
Do you know what's, like, I always have these, like, crazy what if and...
Our
like,
crockpot theory?
Yes, crockpot theories.
I wrote that a few times in my notes.
Is, like, what if, and I know this is so crazy and probably not a thing, but what if the queen that's evil, that was nice to Poppy, like, what if...
one of Solis?
Yes. Yeah. What if she isn't really bad and is an Atlantean or, like, some rightful crown? Like, do you know what I'm saying? You know, when she saw
like, it's
Poppy,
a plot twist on the plot twist?
Yes. Like how when she said, oh, the queen will be so proud that you've, like,
accomplished what she could never do.
Yes. And, like, but I don't think it's because, like, Cass and them are bad. I think that they don't even realize potentially that there's this, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, there was either an overthrow of the thing, maybe whatever happened with Malek. Is it Malek? I'm reading
Malek.
It's both.
That one
technically
book, the Fourth Wing, and they talk about the same god.
Oh, yes!
And I'm like, what? Oh, interesting. So I don't know how to say it now. And it's also the same god of death or whatever. I was like, interesting. This must be, like, a well-known thing in the world of fantasy. I don't know. Anyways.
They probably grab it from different religions.
Like, I feel like maybe there's something even more higher up that either Cass doesn't know or Cass's parents don't realize, that the queen isn't necessarily bad but has to portray this, but I don't know. Anyways, that's that. I just wonder if there's more to it.
It's like the Spider-Mans all pointing at each other.
Maybe it's like evil sister, and maybe, like, their sister. I don't know.
The only thing I find that hard to believe, like, the only reason I do is because she lets everything that happens in her kingdom happen.
That's true.
Like, she has the power. That's a very interesting theory.
Yeah, but she has the power to not do that, and she's choosing to do it, and it's kind of like,
unless there's some, like, something else behind it, like someone's forcing her to do it or something.
Maybe they think that she's an ascended when she's not, and she has to fake it because of something that we don't know, and it kills her inside. I don't know.
Like, there could be someone with a metaphorical knife to her throat. You know, it's an interesting theory.
I just really want her to be good because Poppy liked her, but
we'll just chuck that in the crock pot, see what comes out.
See what happens.
6 hours on low, baby.
6 hours on low. What else do you got, Kristen?
Then I go into when she's looking at Cass. Because she's like, when she looks at him, I don't really have anything beyond. I cried.
There's tears on her.
Because she, like, it starts like she's looking at him. She's like, a man who bared his soul and stripped open his heart to me and only me, my first, my guard, my friend, my betrayer, my partner, my husband, my heartmate, my everything.
Yeah, no.
I got really, like, I'm like, she's finally, like,
that is very cute.
It's like their own, like, you guys don't see it, but they're all on their own lines too. So, like, my first, my heart,
that's cool.
My friend,
like their journey,
like
the way it went. Yeah, that's so cool.
So he says to her, my queen, and she notes that it quells the thing inside of her that wants to throw back the anger and give everyone something to fear. So it's like calming. And okay, so crockpot, I'm going to get into my first crockpot theory right off the hot. So she's mentioned when she talks about, she keeps saying this thing inside my chest. This thing inside my chest vibrates. This thing inside my chest swells. This thing inside, like, it's very clearly not just like a feeling. Like, it's actually,
like it's like its own being almost.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is a god inside of it.
It's that girl that she saw.
Oh.
The one that was crying the blood.
I feel like she is that god and doesn't,
like, reincarnated.
Either reincarnated or, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be either thinking maybe this will happen, but she witnessed this god, right?
Yeah.
And she heard her say something that was like life-shattering, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, and it's something about it wasn't supposed to be like this or something too also was said.
I don't know what was said because she's like,
but that was said a different time, I think.
Sorry. Yeah,
I just don't know, can't remember in what context, but I remember her seeing that girl and either had a feeling or she said it wasn't supposed to be like this. And a part of me at that point thought that was her in the past, and maybe her hearing whatever she heard, we can't remember, was almost like a piece of her, like remembering, like, oh my God. And like maybe something happened to seal her away or what have you. And this is her like reawakening almost.
Ooh.
Because the gods are slumbering.
Right? And like,
So
was it
maybe
her?
she's
And do you think
waking
it's the same the same
I think
person that saved her in the forest from the cliff?
Yes. And
like
the same girl that was crying the blood tear.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think you're onto something with that.
It keeps mentioning as if it's its own being.
Entity, like separate from her.
So I'm like, I feel,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like and I feel like that's why when he tried to ascend her, it didn't work, because that god in there was like, no. And so now, I can't piece it all together.
But no, I kind of see the path you're taking there.
There's something there, I think. So I'm just chucking that in the crock. Okay, chucking that in there.
Love it.
But anyway, when he says my queen, that thing quells and calms down, and she's not angry anymore, and she doesn't. So it's like, I think we're supposed to be led to believe like, oh, he's her calming presence. But I think it's like the thing inside of her is like, yes, because like it's a deity, or a god, whatever.
Interesting.
I don't know, just something to think about.
See, I don't take it the same way, but that's an interesting theory.
How did you take it?
I more like take it like
he's her calming force.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in another book series that you've read where there's rulers of kingdoms, they have like this primal, I'm trying to not give away spoilers. I'm really trying. They have like that primal beast inside of them that like comes out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you there yet?
No, not yet.
Not even.
Anyway, they have like a beast inside of them because of how like powerful they are, and like they literally,
I just mouthed it to Kristen, friends.
Yes,
that one hasn't read this book yet.
So like she has no idea.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I think it happens in some like other series where like these very high and powerful things have like this ancient like being inside of them that's part of them, but like not the whole of them.
Interesting.
And so I take it as like
more like that.
Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah, I can see it.
So that's how I take it, but that's just also from past reading experience.
Right.
It'd be very interesting. I think it's very interesting. Like, I love the theory. It'd be very interesting if it be true.
Something to do with like, not that she's being possessed, but like it's
a part of her.
Yeah, I can't.
It's just a part of her.
I can't put the whole theory together in my brain, but
because we don't know enough yet.
Yeah.
As
it
more
has to simmer still.
Yeah, it's still simmering. I just put it in there. It's got to cook all day while I'm at work. It's fine. Okay.
See, my notes are just random.
Like what do you got?
It's not like my first note, the blood of the king of gods.
Oh.
Don't know what that's in reference to.
Iniktos.
She called him her heartmate again. Yay, it was Christian just talked about.
Yeah.
I put Kieran is growling at Cass, question mark.
Oh, that
their eyes match the gods in the mist and the glow from her. I think this is the wolf's eyes match the mist. And then I put Cass is surprised. They all knew something was happening to her, but Cass is surprised. Is that why Alistair tried to kill her? Oh no, is that why? And then I put in brackets, Alistair tried to kill her? Because I don't think we knew that quite yet.
Yeah, we just went off on how much we hated Alistair in the last episode.
I think that he was at this place.
I don't know if we knew for
Cass
sure.
Right.
Confronts him
There's
soon.
so much that happens in
yes.
this house.
So I had a suspicion
right,
here. I said Alistair tried to kill her? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, because
him and Cass were like left behind. They just got to Atlantia and Beckett brought her here.
You're right.
So at this point, we don't really know. Then I put
one of my last notes from the last chapter was Alistair did this ... He had to have.
Right.
Yes, yeah, so we don't know for sure.
We were thinking we didn't know.
Okay. Sorry, this was such an eventful book.
Yes, it was. Because I said they all seemed to know something was happening to her. And is that why maybe Alistair had tried to kill her just now? And is Kieran protecting Poppy from Cass? I don't know if I understand what's going on here.
So that's my next note that I'm at here too. I put Poppy starts to sway and Cass jumps up ready to catch her. At the same time, the guards behind the king and queen draw their weapons and try to get closer to them as if they were going to protect them. The wolves all start to growl at the guards, especially Jasper, which further cements my theory that they were protecting Poppy and that she is their leader.
Yes. Because before we were questioning that,
yes,
right?
Yes. And then I said, okay, wait, my last note. I thought they were growling at the king and queen. It's actually, and the guards, but they're actually growling at Castile. Now I'm confused.
Right, and that's what I was like, what is happening here? Why is Kieran protecting Poppy from Cass? Does he know something we don't? And I'm like, please don't be bad.
And this, at this point, we didn't know this, but this is the
primal notum.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but I have that in my next note. I put the primal notum?
Yes.
The bonds?
Yes, and so it's what it essentially is more ancient than any of their woven bonds, and it broke all of them. And now geared towards her and her alone. Every single woman.
Yes.
And then, is it every single woven in Atlantia or every single
I think it's every single woven.
I would think any single woven.
Period.
And then
unless they're like
Alistair.
Which at this point we didn't know that yet, and I was like, why isn't Alistair forced to protect her?
Oh, you picked up on that.
Yeah,
I did.
My first note was I put child of a deity ? But I put, why isn't Alistair forced to protect her right now? Is it because he had broken his bond with Malek? And was that the reason, or was it just because he hasn't changed in a while? I can't remember. Was that actually confirmed?
He can't change.
Because he broke the bond with Malek.
Yes.
So I was right on that.
Yes, so I have the same thing.
I didn't know that yet.
Look at me.
A little fist pump.
Are we still tallying those?
I know we
haven't. I was on the same theory, because my next note is, why isn't Alistair in his woven form? Did he break something in himself? Is this because he broke his bond?
Oh, look at you guys. I was like,
like, this is fun.
Yeah. I thought Poppy makes note that Kieran and Jasper's eyes are not just blue, but the pupils of silvery white. And I said, when she had her goddess powers, her eyes went silver. Do we think this has something to do with a changeling goddess type? Poppy mentions the light reminds her of what happened to her skin when she healed. It reminds her of what happened to her skin when she healed Beckett. So I'm assuming now, this has never been confirmed, but I'm assuming his eyes shifted because they haven't shifted again since, correct?
I don't think
she
so.
never made note of his eyes being silver.
The wolf?
Kieran.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I made a note here about it too, that the eyes matched the glow from her.
Yes. So what I'm assuming now is it's just the notum kicking in, and so it flashed over the eyes because it was like
interesting,
because it's never mentioned again.
Why do you think she glows that way? Do you think that she's tapping into the power of the notum, like whatever?
Well, I think it has something to do with her being descended from Nyktos, because so
does the notum, right? The notum came from Nyktos. Was he the one that put that in place with the agreement he did?
Yeah,
I think
right.
So,
so that would make sense that their power from
if they were given mortal form, they had to protect the deities.
So that would make sense that it would that color as well, because the power came from the same
god.
So
I think that their temporary change in eye color, looking back now, is just due to
you're probably right
kicking in.
Yeah,
I think because it's never mentioned again. At least not that
I don't think so.
Okay, so Castile exclaims, "You all knew. That's why you've been." And he trails off. And I said, "What was he about to say?" I still don't have an answer.
So that's my note to here. Cass is surprised that they all knew something, and then I put, "Did Alistair try to kill her?" But I don't think that's what he was referring to there. But
and then Delano jumps forward, paws on the ground, and he begins howling. So at this point is when he's calling all of the woven basically in the city, right? Emil exclaims, "God damn, they are summoning the whole damn city. Does this mean that?" And I said, "Does this mean that all the wolves live in Atlantia?" Which
I think most of them do,
because everyone else thinks that they're extinct.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It would be in their best interest to be here.
Yeah, to be hidden away. So I put, Alistair says it's her, and Cass says it's not her, and then King Val says, but it is, and they are responding to her. That's why the ones on the road shifted without warning when she called them to her. Poppy says, I didn't call anyone. Cass's mom says, but you did. You may not realize it, but you did. You summoned them. So I was very confused.
It's weird that she knew. Like, she was like, well, you did. You summoned them. How would you know? Like, you ain't no wolf.
The fuck? What do you know?
I'm wondering if she just knows, like, the lore behind it.
And then I said, Hawk's mom explains that she has the blood of a god. Whether or not just a drop, it's still more powerful and superior to the bonds that the woven made with the elemental.
My next note is, so she is the child of a deity. That's right.
Is that your last note for that chapter?
And then I want to know more. So, yeah, that's the last useful note.
I have child of a deity. Then I put, why is Alistair not forced to protect her? And then I said, okay, so she officially controls the woven. And then I put either or magic. I must have meant to put something else there, but I put either or magic. She told them she's not a soul eater. She used magic, not soul eating. And then, because I think that she was explaining that they called her a soul eater when she was attacking those people, and she was trying to tell them, I'm not that.
Yeah.
And I put entirety of the Wolven. So Alistair too, because I think they make a point to say the entirety of the Wolven is under control. So that's why I'm like, why not Alistair?
Yeah,
He's still...
That's so funny that you picked up on that right away. I don't think I did.
I was second guessing if he was a Wolven. I was like, maybe I misunderstood this, and he's not. I'm like, is that not Alistair? Like, I was really...
I think I was, yeah.
Like,
I was like, we know he's a Wolven. I'm like, this is suspicious.
Yeah, I'm like, this is weird.
So Poppy then orders all of the Wolven to stand down, and she describes it as if a switch just goes off in their mind. They go from being about to attack to just laying down on their bellies, and she can sense all of their anger just melting away. So it's because of this primal notum. Yeah. But like up to this point, like Cass and Kieran were literally about to like murder each other.
Yes.
And it was really starting to freak Poppy out. She's like, stop, like stand down.
What is going here? Yeah.
And then after that, all of the Wolven except Jasper, Kieran, and Delano leave. Oh, sorry. I did make a funny note too. Cass says, just so you know, what you just did and said has me feeling all kinds of inappropriate things at the moment. LOL. I just thought it was
typical
cute.
Cass.
Yeah. And I said, were we right or were we right? Our man is turned on by a woman of power. Because that was another thing we discussed.
Were right.
Kieran says that she glowed silver when she ordered them to stop the attack, and then describes her as spun moonlight. And I said, there's another moon reference, because that's another thing we talked about in the last pod. She's being described as moonlight and wolves.
Which is interesting that the sun is what's on that symbol.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the opposite of.
That is
because they always talk about the moonlight with her and this and.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what does Solis mean?
Sun.
The sun.
Sun.
Damn, I was really hoping it was moon. No, that's lunar, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but still.
Sun.
That still seems quite symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
That she picked the sun, that it's called Solis. They keep referencing her as moonlight now.
Mm-hmm. What does it?
Oh, boy.
What does
and
it?
I really want to, like, Ian has to be something.
I feel like Ian's not going to be just dead at this point.
Yes.
He's referenced too many times.
The build up for it to just be like, oh, just kidding.
He's dead. He's been dead for years, you idiot. Like, there's no
Yes.
There's no way. Interesting. Okay. Anywho, Cass's mom tells Poppy that she is not a soul eater, because I think that was your note that you were talking about the soul eating. She says that once the people attacking Poppy saw the ether in her blood, because that's what they're describing.
Oh, and they knew as well that she wasn't. I think that's what she says.
They should have known exactly what she was, and she describes the ether as like a magic. Cass is the
I put ether or magic, but I spelled either, and I couldn't figure out why. I was trying to spell ether.
Yep. There you go. So Cass explains that the essence of their blood is the ether, and it's the magic that gives them the powers that they have. And Cass's mom says that she can explain how she knew what Poppy was, and Cass says later. And I'm like, are you kidding me, Cass? Now! Do it now!
Right?
I want to know now!
We all want to know.
And we still haven't had the conversation with her. This is chapter 1, friends.
Crazy.
Chapter 25, we still have not had a conversation with Mama. Anywho, so Poppy demands that Cass and Kieran never come that close to killing each other again. They both promise not to, and Jasper says, as long as the prince doesn't threaten you, we will protect him as fiercely as we protect you. So that's the intro to that, which I really hope just stays platonic. Please.
Right?
Literally.
Please.
Will rage quit.
I know. And we can't, because we're doing a podcast.
I will be here very bitterly.
I will be here against my will.
Will we get the bone roots around your wrist to keep you planted here?
Yes. You might need it.
Cass and Kieran ask Poppy where Beckett went, and she starts thinking about how scared he was when he had talked to her at Spess's end, and then she makes the comment or what he was afraid of, harking back to her theory that Alistair had threatened him to take part in this. Which, is that still the case?
No.
Say that again? Threatened Kieran?
He didn't threaten
No, Beckett.
Jensen.
I know that pretended to be Beckett.
But was that a last-ditch effort because Beckett wasn't cooperating?
No, because they
tried to just hide.
They tried to put him to sleep, and he took too much or not enough. Or
I know that when he actually killed him, but I'm talking about like way back in Spess's End.
I don't think it was ever the plan. I think it was just always
to knock him out long enough. We could pretend to be him, and no one will be the wiser.
Yeah.
And then he woke up, and the plan didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
And they thought easier to kill him than worry about this.
And then Jansen just
because they say it like it was an accident.
That's so sad.
Because it was kind of like we didn't want this to happen, but whatever. He woke up, we killed him. It was just easy to do that.
I'm so sad about it.
Me too.
So Cass orders the others to go find Beckett, and he tells Poppy that if he was responsible for her attack, he doesn't care who Beckett is. His fate is sealed. He says the threat against his wife is a proclamation of war against him. Well, you're not wrong, Cass. It's at the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter ends with Cass saying, and secondly, his features turned predatory, and Poppy describes it as what he looked like before he ripped out Lindell's heart. He turned his head to the side, looking at the wolven that remained, and stands on two legs, and he pauses and he says, "You."
Dun, dun, dun.
So I think we find out it's Alistair, right?
Yeah. I think that's when I need to know more. I need to know if my theory is true or not. Tell me more.
So chapter 2 opens. Oh, yes, I was right about this, and I wanted to clarify it from our last pod. So Alistair Davinwell was Castiel's parents' advisor. When King Malek had ascended his mistress Isabeth, it was Alistair who had alerted Queen Iluana, breaking the bond between him and his now exiled, mostly dead king.
Most likely dead.
Most likely, sorry.
Not mostly dead.
Sorry. Mostly dead.
Nearly headless.
Nearly headless. Nearly headless. Sorry.
Mostly dead.
Mostly dead. So I was right. King Malek is not Cass's dad, because Cass's dad is alive, and this king that they're mentioning is dead. And King Valen.
Didn't we know this?
Dad. No, we had a whole
did we have this?
argument about this.
We did argue it, but
y'all said no.
It's too long
but
ago.
His mom was married to Malek.
Yeah.
I feel like that part
we argued about.
Yes, we did. I remember this now.
Yeah, I remember arguing about
confused.
this, but weren't we unsure if his mom was married to Malek?
She was.
I thought she was, but I thought we argued that she was not, that they're his grandparents, that they were like,
We did talk about that, I think.
She... So, okay.
I'm the problem.
I get it. So she was divorced or whatever because he cheated, and she remarried Cass's dad.
Yes.
So Malek has no relation to Cass because gotcha. Okay.
This is something I want clarification on, though, and maybe this has been said and I just missed it. So, okay, backing up, King Malek, bad King Malek, not bad, but
painted in a negative light.
Yes.
Painted in a negative light, Malek.
The cheating bastard. Sorry. So King Malek was married to Iluana, who is Cass's mom.
Yes.
King Malek had multiple affairs. One of his affairs was his heartmate, which is Isbeth, who was the first vampire that he ascended because he didn't want to lose her.
Yeah.
Because she was immortal.
She was immortal.
And they were heartmates, and this is before that happened.
They couldn't,
he finds out that she is his heartmate, she's mortal, she gonna die, and he's like, no, I don't think so. So turns her into a vampire, and that's what started all of the vampires.
Yeah.
Sometime after this happens, Iluana's like, fuck you, and leaves and meets King Valen, who's Cass's dad. So she goes on to have Cass. So this is my question. The way they talk about King Malek, in my mind, I've always pictured it as it's his family's bloodline, that's royalty. So why
did she get the title?
She get to keep the crown and King Valen become king and her children become next in line for the throne? So is it her family?
Do we know?
Blowing my mind right now.
Because I am all for women empowerment and letting her keep the crown, but that must mean it's her family that's royal.
It literally, so this is, I'm going to read this. Words are very hard, which is not good right now. Listen, it's past my bedtime.
Y'all asked for this.
So it does say here, and this might explain your confusion.
Okay.
So Alistair alerts Cass's mom I'm not saying that right now.
Iluana.
Breaking the bond between Alistair and the now
Malik.
exiled, most likely dead king.
So he was exiled for doing such
He was
a thing.
exiled for doing that.
Therefore,
and then because she was probably married.
They were still married.
Yes. The crown reverted to her.
Royal. So I am right. Because the way they talk about Malek, it's like as if.
Well, and doesn't they think that Poppy has his blood, which is descended from
Niktos,
right?
Yes.
Or at least Alistair. That's
so
Alistair's theory.
It does make sense that the other queen would be like, oh, I'm so glad you've infiltrated whatever, because then they would potentially know she's that bloodline of Niktos. Like they would see her as the rightful crown or what have you, right? And Malek very well might still be alive and very well could be the king of this queen. And that's why they're trying to take the rightful.
Dun, dun, dun.
I just got goosebumps.
That's a good crockpot theory.
So it's not that she...
That might only need 4 hours to simmer.
Said that she feels like she's the rightful whatever?
Yeah.
I was thinking because she's good.
Wait, what's her name?
It's basically Ileana. They're
it's
very
like the same thing,
close.
but it's with an I.
Very.
Instead of an E.
There's Ileana and Eliana.
Do you think Isbeth could be a mention of?
Would Isbeth be dead? Like, she's a vampire. She might not be.
What if she's...
What if...
And she just copied her ex-man's former wife's name?
Yeah, I got as close to
it. Or what if...
Poppy, I mean, that would make sense, though. Like, if she's like...
Poppy could be a descendant of the vampire. Can vampires have babies?
No.
Okay, then she can't be a descendant.
But if we go with the theory that, like the King Malik, cheating bastard...
exiled.
Is the king in Solis. And...
Because they've never spoken.
If Ileana, the other evil queen, names are hard, is Isbeth, and she... Maybe there was like some jealousy on her part, even though they're heartmates apparently. But they couldn't do the trials because the gods are asleep, and that's maybe why she got close to his name.
Yet, I don't think that's what made the trials. No,
they
the
did.
gods made the trials
they
before.
Were sleeping, that's right.
They were asleep.
So desperate and tried to turn.
Yeah,
right.
So if the gods were asleep and she copied the name, because doesn't Poppy not feel emotion from her?
Yeah.
So she could be the vampire.
Now, in the last book, Cass did say he didn't think the queen was vampire. That is the only harking to that evidence.
Unless it's not Isbeth.
But she could be an Atlantean, and Malek could be the rightful king. Still, he's Atlantean, right?
Or King Malik.
Back.
Or she is like a daughter to King Malik. So she believes her father is the rightful.
So would that make her Poppy's sister?
Potentially. Well, she said she's Papa's grandmother. How would we... Remember, Poppy was told, Queen is your grandmother.
Right!
So that makes...
Isbeth, isn't she?
Isbeth was a vampire. She can't have babies.
That's what we've been told.
Unless they had a baby before she was turned. She was a mortal before.
And people knew she existed.
Yeah.
A select few.
I think we just stumbled upon something.
Okay.
That none of us were expecting.
Okay. So, Malek this is our theory. Let's just summarize our theory.
I need a Venn diagram.
Right, honestly, literally, we need
I have a whiteboard.
Okay, so, honestly, we should write this out. It'd be fun to look back on. So...
And maybe that's why he tried to save her.
So, Malek... Okay.
Because she was pregnant with the baby.
So, Malek is exiled because of what he did to Isbeth. It is not confirmed
if he's alive or dead
that Isbeth or Malek have been killed. It's just assumed. Both of them. Correct. Okay. So let's assume they were both exiled. They go to Solis and they become the rulers over there. Meanwhile, the entire time
creating a vampire.
Yes. Building an army.
At the beginning, they may not have realized that vampire were really dangerous. They didn't know.
No.
They only knew what her experience was at that point.
Yes.
So they could have made a bunch of...
So then they make a bunch of vampire, whether on purpose or on accident, who knows. And the whole idea is to try and steal back the throne from King Valen and Iluana. And meanwhile, Isbeth, who was mortal before she was turned, could have had a baby, which could have been Poppy's mom. And
Poppy's grandma, which is the queen.
Who's Isbeth in our theory? This is what we're saying.
Not necessarily.
But this is the theory we were just talking.
But Isbeth, if she's not a vampire, they could have had a baby. It was the queen. The queen had a baby. It was Poppy's mom. The mom had the baby. It was Poppy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's a
because they said that she wasn't a vampire.
See, I thought we were thinking queen was Isbeth.
Not necessarily, but either the queen was Isbeth or their baby. It's the same thing.
That's
Do you know what I'm saying?
Same
it's just
bloodline.
one generation older than what we realized. So Queen Isbeth and Malik had a baby, and it was the Queen of Solis.
Because the queen and king have been ruling for like 400 years.
Which is the exact same amount of time that they've been ruling on the other side.
And it would also allow for more generations between Poppy and...
And that's why Poppy's mom was so close to the queen, because it was her mom. Right? Wasn't she like a garter or something we learned?
So in this theory, we have exiled Malek and Isbeth, who was pregnant before she was turned.
Or when she was turned. We don't know what happened with the pregnant
when
turned.
They're turned.
Maybe they have the baby.
So they have a baby. We don't know how it happens. They have a baby. This baby becomes
the current Queen of Solis.
The current Queen of Solis.
Who we've been told already
is not
Poppy's grandma. And is Poppy's grandma.
So their love child has Poppy's mom, who then has Poppy.
Yes.
In this theory.
Yes. Which literally checks out.
Or
I still am not.
Isbeth is the queen.
Yeah.
Who had Poppy's mom, who had Poppy.
Yeah.
Isbeth is the queen. Correct. Maybe she's not a vampire. And we were led to believe that's how the vampire started.
I don't think they'd lie about that, though.
Or she had baby before she became vampire.
Yeah.
But it could paint a picture if you were the Atlanteans. Like, I'm not saying Cass, but like even like Ileana or whatever. She obviously doesn't like Malek, and they may have a story to tell here. So they would have to say what they're doing is so terrible. They made these Atlanteans, they blah, blah, blah. Oh, not Atlanteans. Vampire. Like, who's to say that's not what actually happened and how the first vampire was made? Like, maybe something terrible happened. Even Alistair is telling that story. And do we really trust Alistair as well? He's also trying to change the throne. So I'm just saying maybe whoever Malek whatever isn't a vampire.
I just thought of some really sad dark theory. So, with the Ascended, we find out that the third child given to the right, it's always a third child, and it's very typically a baby because it's after they're born. What if, and this is not a complete theory, what if she was pregnant when she was ascending, maybe not necessarily with Poppy's mom, just pregnant in general, and lost that baby, and that's what their obsession with babies is. And that's why they pull.
If we lose our baby, you lose yours.
Lose your baby.
I wouldn't put it past them.
It's just very dark. Sorry. I went there.
No, I mean, it's dark what's happening in this book.
Oh, I just want to know what's happening.
But do you know what I mean? That might not have been how the first vampire came to be. We're being led to believe that that's exactly what happened. And that would be a good lie to tell to make everybody hate them. Damn. Now, obviously, they are going along with having vampire under their control, like they're governing over them. But
who's the big bad? That's what we need to know.
Watch it be Cass's mom. We just don't even realize. I know.
What?
I'm like, I prefer the Queen of Solis being the big bad evil.
We may have to split this podcast up into a few different sessions because
we're an hour in.
We're already in an hour.
And we're at chapter 2?
Chapter 2. TBD, friends. TBD.
We'll see if I will make it.
Yep. Okay.
You'll know when it's published.
You'll know before us, friends, because you're listening right now, and you can look at the little bottom and see how long the time is. Anywho, so Poppy thinks that if her parents had found Alistair, they would still be alive. And I put, nope, I don't think so. Alistair's the cause of all of this.
I
called this too. Did you quote it? Call it?
No, I just put, is Poppy finally putting together the pieces about Alistair?
I put,
finally.
Poppy's parents had found Alistair. They did, Poppy. Wake up. He is the reason that this has happened.
We knew it.
And then I put, please, Cass, compulse Alistair to tell the truth.
Oh.
Like, why didn't he when he was questioning
about that.
him?
Me too.
I'm like, this is literally your superpower and you're choosing not to use it. Anyway.
Alistair says, I don't know what you think Beckett did or how it has anything to do with me, but my nephew would never be involved with something like this. He is a pup, and I would. Cass cuts him off, telling him to shut the hell up. I'm like, yes, king. Shut that man up. Castile tells the guards to seize Alistair. He wants him held until they know for sure that him and Beckett are innocent. And I went, go, Cass, go! Because we've been sus of him this whole time.
Yep.
And then I said, I really don't like Alistair, and I'm very sad at myself for not trusting my initial thoughts on him. My instincts were correct. Cass orders the guards, and Alistair says he doesn't have the authority to do that. They only respond to the crown. And Cass says, well, you all saw my mother put her crown at my wife's feet, which by Atlantean law makes me king. And Alistair mocking Cass, saying he never wanted to be king, and he asks if he truly has given up on his brother. And I put, he's such a sore fucking loser.
Right?
I think at this point, I don't know if this was actually where I picked up on it, but at some point, Alistair feels angry instead of literally anything else. And I'm like, why is he feeling angry? And I think it was right now, because Poppy does say right after this, I sucked in a sharp breath as anger flooded me. Alistair, of all people, knew how much finding. Oh no, that's her feeling it. At some point, she must talk about Alistair feeling angry, because I'm like, what is happening here?
Because he's being caught.
But I can't tell when.
Because he's been fucking thwarted by them meddling kids. So King Valen says she's not officially queen until she's been crowned. Or unless the crown gets challenged or whatever. Jasper says you cannot contest her claim to the throne. And then King Val says, then we're going to keep Alistair somewhere safe until we find out who is involved. Alistair goes to argue, and Valen says it's as much to our benefit as yours, because if you try and run, Jasper, Kieran, and my son are going to be at your throat. Cass gives a menacing smile and says, it'll be me. Alistair then throws Shay in his face and says, you were like a son to me. You would have been my son had fate not had different plans for us. And I said, oh, buddy, if only you knew fucking why.
At that moment, he should have said, I honestly, the petty me is face. So mad he never learned the truth about her. He died not knowing.
I know.
And I feel like he deserved to know that right at the end.
Who? Yep. What do we? I like zoned out there.
Kristen's
what day is it? Huh?
I am trying to find where I was like, Alistair's angry, and I'm.
No, we were just saying like,
who never knew the truth?
Alistair never knew that Shay had betrayed them.
Yes,
and Amanda's like, the petty part of me wishes they would have said it before they killed them.
Okay, yeah, same.
He deserved to be.
I'm like, I know I missed something there because I'm trying to find.
Yeah,
I need to take better notes.
And then I said, okay, what the hell is going on? Alistair says it will be found out that he is not the threat, but Poppy maybe this is what you're talking about. Sense something from him and sends a warning to her instincts. The next thing we know, Alistair is shouting to protect the king and queen, and arrows are flying. Jasper jumps in front and gets hit, and his skin starts to turn gray. I said, was he just killed? Now more arrows are raining down. What the hell is going on?
So to back up,
did you find it?
No.
Oh.
No idea where that was. But I was upset about it. But I'm around this point, I wrote, no, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But before that, is this when we're learning? I don't know what my brain was thinking, but I'm like, we see now that Alistair can keep pain / emotions from Poppy, which is interesting. She seems to feel things from everyone, but he was able to hide that from her.
She never,
I think, just
really read his true emotions.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I feel like she always felt like he was genuine in his offers. So we see that
always checking his emotions to see that. So
but we see
really
that people can, in fact, hide their emotions from her.
Kieran is then shot.
I think that's when, no, what the fuck?
My heart hurt a little bit.
I don't really understand why I said this. I said, is Kieran going to die now that his bond is gone? But Kieran's bond wasn't. Was I thinking because
I think
his bond with Cass?
Yeah,
which makes no sense because I'm in chapter 2 when I said that.
Maybe you just started thinking about it because his skin was going gray. Maybe you didn't realize he was hit by an arrow.
Maybe, but his bond isn't gone because
it's just shifted.
Her.
Yeah.
Because of that, but I will not stand for this.
So he starts turning gray. He tells Poppy to run, and she goes to grab him, and he feels like ice. The gray sweeps over him, and he pulls the arrow out of his shoulder, and a gray liquid is dripping from it. I put, what the hell is going Now Cass has been shot. Iluana orders the guards to stand down. Arrows are still flying. Cass is now going gray, and he is cold too. And I put, oh my God. And then she says it doesn't feel like flesh anymore. He says, Poppy, and then he stops talking, frozen like stone. And I put, what the hell?
I remember reading this, and I
rage quit.
So did you?
Yeah, I did.
I was so close to rage quitting.
I did for a little bit when we were at your house and we were talking about starting, and I was like, don't bother reading.
Oh, really? I did not.
Because none of you have started yet. I'm like, I started and I stopped. Like, I stopped.
I had, but I hadn't gotten this far, I think.
I was
hilarious. See, I knew they weren't going to kill him because I'm like, there's no way that.
I don't know. I was like, maybe they do because
I'm like, it's only book 3.
And then he ends up with Kieran. She ends up with Kieran. I'd be like, no, I'm fucking done.
Right?
Fucking done.
There'd be a
do not finish.
DNF. Sorry, friends. Like, sorry, we all couldn't continue. On to the next book.
I put in all capitals. Cass did not just die. This better be reversible. Look at your hand, Poppy. Please, God, is your marriage oath gone? Please look at your hand.
I forgot about the marriage oath.
And then she doesn't look at her hand.
Yep.
And I said, this has to be a curse, something that she can fix. But Poppy is pissed. The world is pissed. And that's how my note ended.
Man is like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah, and I stopped reading for quite a while.
So Poppy's now on the ground beside a rock-frozen Cass, and she's trying to feel for a heartbeat. She can't find one and says he has been taken from her. Her skin began to vibrate as a dark, oily, soul-deep rage rose within her. It had a tang like metal in the back of her throat and burned like fire in her veins. It tasted like death, and not the kind that occurred here, the final kind. Fury expanded, and tears streaked down her cheeks as she dropped onto Cass's iron-colored skin. Words are hard. But yeah, so essentially
reliving that trauma.
It's the angerness of the whatever
primal
is
being inside of her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The temple then begins to tremble again. Poppy kisses Cass's stone cold lips and then grabs his sword. The ancient thing, see it says thing again, ancient thing inside her begins to pulse and throb. A sharp wind whips across the floor and torches go out, leaving the blood tree rattling like dried bones. Like creepy. Her primal power surges and silences all emotions inside except for vengeance. She says that she says she was her, but she was something else entirely. Again, sounds like...
Can I pause you for a second?
You can.
I'm just rereading this because I'm trying, like, I keep up where we are. I wonder if this is foreshadowing that none of us picked up on. You say, my skin began to vibrate with the dark and oily, soul-deep rage rose within me. It had a tang like metal in the back of my throat and burned like fire in my veins. It tasted like death, and not the kind that occurred here, the final kind. So she's literally saying, in her throat, she tastes death, the final kind,
like,
but not what occurred here.
Meaning Cass isn't dead and Kieran isn't dead.
Oh.
That's interesting.
I wonder if that was actually, I wonder if I'm just reading too much into that, or if that was actually like...
I mean, it seems very purposely said.
Yeah.
The final kind.
But not not the kind that occurred here. The final kind.
Interesting.
I don't think any of us picked up on that,
No.
but I wonder if that is an intentional...
Like a foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway. Just noticed that.
That's cool.
No, that's a very good point. That is a very good point.
Continue.
I'm just trying to find where I was. Okay, so her flesh sparked and then flames went across the columns of the floor in shimmering veins. So the way I pictured this in my head was like she was like the source of it and it kind of like spread out. Is that kind of what you guys took from that too?
Yeah.
Her rage became a tangible thing that could not be stopped. So at this point it's like
like a beast.
Yes. And then a guy runs at Poppy and she stabs him in the chest. 4 more run at her and she kills them too. And then I put, she then hears a female voice inside of her head. She sees a woman with silvery white hair touching the ground. Poppy realizes that this must be the woman that's is buried here because it's over top of a temple or something.
Yeah.
Niktos' temple.
Well, I think it's the fucking thing that's living inside of her. That's my theory. The woman is on her hands on the ground and is screaming in agony. The ground cracks apart and white hands appear out of the dirt all around her. Nothing more than bones. I am done with this. All of this, the woman says. The image of the woman then fades, and Poppy imagines her cords of power come off the columns and spread out all over the guards. This kills everything else. Bones broken, withered to nothing. She wants them all to feel what is inside of her, what they have wrought.
Okay, interesting. So this person she sees was in this temple, and there was boned arms coming up. Mm-hmm. Are those the chained deities underground that we didn't realize were underground yet?
She's not buried here, though. They take her up to the
mountain. But all of the other... Remember when Poppy was underground with all of the deities they've killed? Because I was going to say maybe that was her trying to, like, the other deities were killed, and she's like, this isn't what was supposed to happen. And it was like them coming up at wrong locations.
But this... So this...
And do you think that was a vision? Like, was she physically in that temple? Her eyes were open and it looked like that girl was there in the temple, or was it like a vision she was seeing?
No, I think she saw it.
Hallucinating it almost. Okay.
Yes, that's what I think.
In the moment.
But I think it's actually happening.
Yes, same. Like a flash from the past almost is happening. Like that happened. Because that's how I took it. I took that she saw her there, but was almost seeing something that happened in that place hundreds or thousands of years ago. That's how and not that it was happening then.
This would feed into your reincarnation theory then.
Well, that's why I was thinking that, I think. That every time I saw her, I was imagining this was that person's previous
life. History repeating itself.
Yes, but it was also her or whatever was
Which
in
is why
her.
She's crying out in agony.
Yes, and why she's hallucinating these. They're like almost her memories that she's watching and...
Interesting.
Third person.
See, when I read it, I thought she was like awakening the god, and then the god...
So that was physically... Other people couldn't see the god there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Gonna hopefully get another tally on my Battle of the Tallies.
The tally bally.
The tally bally. The tattle battle. Whatever you want to say.
Tally battle. Wow. Say that 5 times fast right now.
We'll leave that to you.
So chapter ends. Of course, Alistair is still alive, just standing there watching all of this.
Smug
he says, I'm not the threat to Atlantia. You are. You always have.
This is
because he knows she's going to take the throne.
Yep. And I'm going to be threat.
And they want Malik to.
My last note was, how is Poppy the threat if she's literally a descendant of their gods?
So, kind of
so mad.
Amanda's got a crackpot theory.
If Alistair has been lying, and his bond never broke from Malek?
And he's been working for him the whole time. In Solis?
Yes, and that's why he doesn't want
But then how do you explain him not transforming into a wolf?
Either
maybe he's vampire.
Or that. But she can see his emotions.
She can.
But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's either A, he can, but maybe there's like if you don't in so long, you no longer can. So maybe he's held up this lie. So he's lost that ability.
Or maybe he's
lost it. Maybe he...
But he didn't have a choice.
He would have been forced to follow Poppy then.
He didn't have a choice.
Or maybe his bond was broken, but also by choice. Like maybe this happened. He got exiled and he maybe wanted to go with Malek or whatever. And he was like, no, you have to stay or whatever. Like maybe something happened.
Well, him telling is what.
But maybe that didn't.
Exiled.
Or maybe. Like maybe that didn't happen that way. No, Malek was because of Alistair. But maybe what happened was that they, like Malek and them had to go. And Alistair had to remain for some whatever reason, I don't know what, and that he's still with Malek and wants Malek to be ruling, and that's why it's a threat.
I can't see why he would break his bond with Malek though. Like he literally.
What if maybe there's like his choice? What if he did it and then went, oh shit?
He doesn't seem to regret it though. And any time we hear,
though. Maybe Malek was like, you have to go. Maybe she was pregnant. They knew. And they didn't want anybody to know. Is that like a thing? If you get a mistress pregnant, that is a big deal. So they had to like...
Not typically in ancient history.
I don't know.
It's just a mistress's baby.
Again, crockpot. Moving on to this. I can't paint any other picture of this series. I'm like, crap.
There might be something there. Okay, so chapter... Oh, sorry. And then the chapter ends. You have always been the threat, whatever. And then a pain explodes in the back of her head. She's been knocked out. That's how it ends.
I didn't overthink that one that time. I remember the first time she got hit in the back of the head and I overthought it. I'm like, there's something here. I'm like, no, she just got hit in the back of the head.
Her just got concussed. It's fine. Chapter 3 opens with Poppy coming to, and she's chained in the room, but not with metal, but with bones. I put gross. And she's tied to another dead captive, one with blonde hair. What the hell? And it's
I was too like, I need to know what's happening with Kieran and Cass.
Bless you.
I was trying not to make it loud enough for the microphone. I just put Alistair pushing her to this limit, making her angry, thinking Cass was dead, making her appear like the bad guy and like the threat to Atlantia that he's claiming.
I said the exact same thing. I said Alistair obviously has arranged for this to happen, so she would explode, and the king and queen would view her as dangerous.
And he'd be like, "See, told you."
Yep, I was on the same thought train as you there. Poppy then realizes there are dozens of people in here and a sarcophagus in the middle, and that she is in a crypt.
And we're sure it's not under Niktos, because I put here, are these the deity tomes that are in the bottom of Niktos temple? But I was just wondering then. It was not confirmed.
Yeah, we find out that they're in the Skotos Mountains, but we don't know that at this point.
Okay.
We don't know that at this point. Poppy vows to escape and find Cass and the others and then kill Alistair. She goes.
So she at this point know they're not dead?
No, she assumes.
Oh, she's just assuming.
She assumes that they're dead, but is hoping that they're not.
Yes.
She wants to get to them to find out.
Literally my first note is thank fuck they're alive.
Oh wow, you didn't take nothing for this part.
Nope.
You were full into.
You're like, I don't care.
I'm like, I'm rage quitting if they're not alive. If they're dead, I'm done. Two-person podcast from here on out.
See ya.
You are our tech. We need you.
I'm like, I'll sit here and like watch the tech then.
Okay. So she goes to try and break the bones, and a male voice speaks out. I wouldn't do that. Those aren't normal bones. They are bones of the ancients, and they carry primal magic. These bones are unbreakable, imbued by another who carries the blood of the gods within them. It's a rather archaic technique crafted by gods themselves, designed to immobilize those who have become dangerous, too much of a threat. They say that it was Niktos himself who bestowed the power of the bones of the dead. The act carried out when he ruled over the dead in the Shadowlands. When he was the Asher, the one who is blessed, the bringer of death, the guardian of souls, the primal god of common men and endings. Poppy says the voice and laugh sound familiar.
I put a note here. That familiar voice, is it because it's the voice she remembers hearing that betrayed her parents? I don't know if that was confirmed or not. I don't think it was.
I think it's Jansen.
But I was,
yeah,
I think.
This just randomly popped into my head, and never mind, I lost it. Damn it. Ignore me. When you were just talking, it made me think about, I popped back in my head. Yay. Remember how this is how my ADHD works.
Guys, I wish you could see her face. She literally shook her head, big eye blinks, and was like, oh, there it is. Someone turned the light switch on.
Literally exactly what happened. Remember at the very beginning of the book, with the lady that told her to go upstairs, and it's been mentioned more than once that she's a second daughter or
like
whatever.
The worker at the
yeah.
We still haven't been told what that means yet.
No,
right.
Like a second daughter, obviously to a god of some sort, which would potentially make her a god, or like, do you know what I mean? Like that just popped in my head as to how
that's
the
reincarnation theory,
right? The daughter of Niktos, and this is the second
go round. He tells her if you pull at those bindings, they will simply tighten. If you keep doing that, they'll cut through your flesh and bone. Eventually, they'll sever your limbs. Like, well, that's fucking disgusting. The man says that those dead around her became too big of a threat, and that's why they're here. He says that they were a threat like her, and she says that she was attacked. They had attacked her, and he finishes the sentence by saying, "Heart mate," like he's mocking her. I'm like, you bastard. He then says that everyone that was attacked are all safe. So this is when we find out. So this is probably where your notes kick in.
This is where I'm like, thank fuck.
He says
I can make
everyone
notes.
that was attacked is safe, and that if she doesn't believe it, she can check her marriage imprint, which is still intact. And Meta, you were probably like, hallelujah.
right? I was like, thank God.
I told her so. The stranger says that Poppy was a danger to Cass and that she could have killed him had she not been stopped. that she would have brought down the whole temple. And I said, guys, is she becoming a soul eater? Oh. I didn't write it out, but I put the description of the attack. It sounds totally planned. Fucking Alistair. Does he describe it there?
Oh. Yeah, so then she's like, no, I wouldn't have done it. And he's like, maybe not intentionally. I started to deny what he said, but I tipped my head back against the wall, unsettled. I wasn't sure what I'd become in that temple, but I had been in control. I had also been full of vengeance, just like the strange flash of the woman I'd seen in my mind. I'd been prepared to kill those who ran from me. I'd been prepared to tear apart that entire kingdom. Would I have done that? Scion's Cove was full of innocent... Scion's Cove was full of innocent people. Surely I would have stopped before it got to that point. I was lying to myself. I believed that Castile had been gravely injured, if not killed. I wouldn't have stopped. Not until I'd stated that need for vengeance. And I had no idea what it would have taken for that to happen.
So maybe that's what I was just referencing.
Yeah.
Probably.
So then she's like, what did you do to him, to the others?
He knew that she would freak the flip out if Cass was injured.
I still think that, like, had Cass or Kieran stepped in, they would have sated that vengeance. Like, had they not pretended to kill Cass or Kieran, Cass mainly, she wouldn't have gotten there.
I agree.
Yeah. That's what sent her over the edge.
Yeah, like
Which is
it's like they
did it on purpose, knowing.
Yeah,
to make
which
her.
Which is probably why I said fucking Alistair.
Yeah.
The bones take away her abilities, leaving Poppy mortal, so she can't sense anything right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
And she said though why because she was trying to like call out to the Wolven like come save me, and that's why nothing's happening because it's not working.
Yeah.
We find out that the man with her in there is Commander Jansen from the Royal Guard. Well, who like I totally forgot about. Like,
yeah,
I don't remember his
backstory.
He
he
hired
with Cass. I'm pretty sure. Like
Cass, he was the one that hired Cass.
One of the ones that came back through the mountains with her. I'm almost positive.
Okay. Because I was like, I feel like I should know who this is, and it's not a like who what moment for me because I didn't.
He's like a low.
I was literally Commander Jansen. What?
That's funny. What? Say what?
You're dead.
She asks if he is a dissenter, if he supports the prince. He responds that he is not a dissenter and that he does support Atlantia. Poppy asks how he is not dead. Chapter ends with Jansen transforming into Beckett.
And I wrote,
really?
Oh my God, what is he,
that?
changeling?
I have so much more.
Really?
Oh, never mind.
Was it from before?
My next one's chapter 7, so I probably just kept writing notes and didn't differentiate chapters. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
So we ended that chapter with him, Beckett kneeling before her, and I wrote, oh my God, what is he, changeling?
Okay, because but Jansen is a changeling? No, he's Beckett. So, I don't know.
At this point, I was even questioning if Beckett was...
Same, me too. I was like, was Beckett
ever...
So you thought Beckett was Jansen?
Was pretending to be Jansen.
Well, I was wondering. I'm like, but then Beckett was like... And then I think I went back and looked in the old book. I'm like, no. Like, they talk about Beckett being around for like 20 years. Jansen couldn't have been in wherever she started and in wherever they ended.
Because I
at the same time.
I had the same thoughts though. Because at first I said Jansen is a changeling, and I said, oh no, this is Beckett, pretending like he's actually Beckett. And then I don't know.
What is that bay they were at?
They must have...
I can't remember. What was it?
I'm just trying to understand my notes here. I think this might have been the start of the next chapter, because I put, so was it him she helped? Did he actually feel thankful? Because do you remember when they were walking towards the temple? Why are you guys laughing right now? Is it because you're crunching really loud trying to eat? I literally was like, the crinkling of your bag is going to be so loud.
I don't even think it picked it up.
But your stealth eating is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Except my poker face doesn't go.
There's no video. No one can see.
I only started to laugh because you're very like, move the mic. Like you're trying so. And then you're just looking at Amanda with your mouth.
You're like, go on. They just hear giggles and I look up. I'm like, oh,
sorry, Amanda.
Something is happening. So yeah, I don't know if this was part of chapter 4 or the end of chapter 3, but it's related to Jansen turning into Becca,
Yeah.
vice versa. So I'm just going to read it. I said, so was it him she helped? Because if you recall, on the way to Nyktos' temple, Beckett thanks her.
Was the roof falling down on him? Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is when he was bringing her to the temple. Like when Beckett,
like before the attack happened.
Yes, was just it was technically her and Jansen that we know now, but her and fake Beckett walking towards the temple, and they have a little, I don't want to say heart to heart, but he thanks her.
Yes.
And then she like puts her feelings out, and she mentions that like he feels thankful, and there was another emotion. I can't remember what was, nervous or was something.
Yes, he was nervous because I remember being that suspicious. Why is he nervous?
Exactly. So, but she felt that the nervousness was, the thankfulness was genuine. So I just put a point there. If that was Jansen and he was actually feeling thankful to her, like what was that about? And I had said, okay, so he's not Beckett. He's imitating him. What did they do with Beckett? Was he Beckett when he was hurt? Because he shifted into Beckett's human form. Remember, like when she healed him?
I'm thinking at that point that was actually Beckett.
Yeah. It must have been.
But the thankfulness, because I thought about this, because I remember thinking from like the other chapter how like Alistair was able to hide emotions from her. And I wonder if they do that by like thinking of another emotion, like
that they were actually thankful for.
Yes, so he might be thinking, "Oh, I'm really actually thankful for this," and then he's telling her, "Oh, thank you again for that." While
like
thinking,
manipulating,
yes,
because she's reading real emotions. They're just manipulating with.
She doesn't know what's causing that emotion, and she can only like. And at this point, she had no other reason to assume that it was for.
And why would she? Right?
Yeah, why would you?
Someone says something that they're genuinely feeling that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Poppy asks, "You're a changeling," and Beckett / Jansen nods. And I said, so does this mean Beckett was innocent and that Jansen was pretending to be him when they walked away? That Jansen was working with Alistair? It could fit our theory that Alistair was working with the Ascended if Jansen was supposed to be in the Royal Guard. Because I think I forgot about the whole, Castile brought him on part.
Yeah. He brought Cass on, I thought.
Yeah, sorry. And I put Harry Potter reference incoming. Beckett Jansen says that he needs a piece of the person he wants to change into in order to make the change. I said, it's giving Polyjuice Potion.
That's funny. I don't even think I realized because I also then was like, how did he fake the fear then? And I'm like,
you weren't even onto your theory yet.
I wasn't even onto my own theory yet.
There you go. See?
But I was like, is it Jansen that murdered her parents too? I was like, was he involved there?
And then I put, he's not the real Beckett. That makes me happy. Until we realize.
Right.
I was going to say, my next note is not Beckett. I was crying.
So then I started. So I was calling it Beckett Jansen because I still, at this point,
was unsure.
Was not sure if Beckett was pretending to be Jansen.
Yeah, if Beckett was a changeling turning into Jansen, or if Jansen a changeling.
I wasn't sure. So it was Beckett Jansen, and then I was getting really annoyed with writing that, so I started calling them BJ.
Oh my gosh.
So I put, BJ says.
Only you would do that.
And I'm like, and then I read it. I'm like, fuck it. We're going with it.
The Blue Jays. What are you talking about?
Yeah, totally Blue Jays. I heart Blue Jays. Did you know the Blue Jays actually like the Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Had a shirt that said I heart Blue Jays.
Yes.
I'm like, I want one.
Hilarious.
Just because that's fucking funny. Anyway, BJ says that when he makes changes, it is next to impossible to discern the two of them. So even like Poppy's gift. So like, cause she's like, how did I not know that you were not Beckett? And he's like saying like, I essentially become that person. Like
like he can almost get lost himself.
Yeah. And he sometimes forgets who he is.
Which seems silly to think that he could pull off this whole scheme.
Right.
Because you would think
if you're not yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're strongly trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
I wonder, because he's working with Alistair, we don't know this.
Maybe he reminds
But Alistair is probably there to help remind him too.
That's true.
Poppy asks if Beckett is okay, and he says he should have been. He was given a sleeping potion in order to have him sleep long enough for him to take his place, but that didn't happen. He hadn't been given enough potion, and Beckett woke up. Jansen killed Beckett, and I put, poor Beckett. It's kind of sad.
I just have a lot of
I was really sad.
Poppy asks him why he is doing this. Is he mad that Cass married her, and he says, no, that probably would have been better for the kingdom. And Poppy says, then why? And he, because I have a drop of ancient blood in me. And he responds with, a drop? I saw what you did in that temple. Give yourself more credit than that. And I went, interesting. So this is, I think, foreshadowing to everyone now thinking goddess. Jansen says that he left Macedonia and met up with Alistair, and that was how he found out what she was. And I said, so it was his friggin' plan. So this is, I think, when we're finally getting confirmation that Alistair is bad. Poppy calls BJ a coward and threatens to kill him with a death.
BJ, at this point, you know it's Jansen. You're just like, I don't care.
Going with it. Poppy calls BJ a coward and threatens to kill him with a death fitting of a coward. He knocks her unconscious again. And Poppy wakes up and sees a spear, and she tries to grab it. So I'm assuming this spear is like in a dead person's hand. Is that?
I think it was either in a dead person or something.
But like in the vicinity, like she just didn't notice it the first time. Like it didn't just appear. Next she hears, glad to see her awake.
It literally says, were you not listening? Listen, Linda. I slowly inched my hand to the left as I stared at the spear on the skeleton's chest.
Well, I was kind of right.
It was on the. I think I assumed in the skeleton chest though, so I can't judge you too much.
Poppy next wakes up to see the spear, and she goes to grab it. She then hears, glad to see her awake. Alistair has arrived, and Poppy says, you traitorous son of a bitch. And I went, go, Poppy! Yes. Alistair says what he did was not a betrayal, but a messy means to protecting Atlantia. Bullshit.
Right.
He says the tendency to react without thought, often fueled by passion or other volatile, unpredictable emotions, and to react with violence was a trait even the gods fell prey to, especially the oldest amongst them.
And he's literally saying things right now to feed her uncertainty about herself.
So he's hinting that Poppy is descended from some of the most ancient gods.
I don't know where I got this, but I'm like, I'm back and forth because like this note fits where we are. But I said, is this history lesson yet another that has been altered to prove the Atlanteans' point? And I don't know what I was talking about here. I know he does start to talk about the history with like the gods, but then my next point is they respect the gods so much, and the gods protected Poppy. We literally know this, and yet they see her as a threat. Like your gods, the people you worship,
you're going against the
literally
gods
literally protected Poppy, and you're like, nah, fuck them.
Well,
we're gonna do this for Atlantia.
Alistair asks if Jansen had explained what the monsters and deities became after the gods went to sleep, why they deserved the fate that they had, a lot of them being the bodies around her in the crypt. Poppy says he was a little too busy hitting me to get to that point, and Alistair says, I feel like I need to apologize again for that. And Poppy responds with, fuck you.
Like, why is he being all like trying to? Yeah,
sure.
Like, who are you putting on a face for right now? The person you've deceived? Like,
exactly. Fuck
makes no sense.
Alistair says she's about to go through the culling and that she will become even more dangerous once that happens. Even worse so because she is mortal at the end of the day, and the mortals are more susceptible to emotional reactions. Says the fucking one who has her chained up in a fucking tower. But anywho, I digress. He says that she was descended from those born of flesh and fire, the most powerful gods. Her abilities are similar to those whose tempers could lay a town to waste. And he specifically mentions flesh and fire, which was the title of the last one.
That's very interesting. That gods are born of flesh and fire. Which is interesting because did flesh exist prior to the gods? They must have, because that's how the gods were born. It almost is as if there was some terrible thing that happened and there was so much flesh and fire, like almost like burning of people, like mass war or something, that in the chaos of that, like the gods were like, you know what I mean, came to like
to put a stop to it.
Yes.
Or maybe they were slumbering before.
It says they were born of.
But maybe that's just when history.
That's just like the way that,
Yeah.
Could be born, not the literal sense, you know?
Yep.
Alistair says they then began turning on one another, picking each other off as they fought to rule Atlantia. So he's talking about the deities. And in the process, they eradicated entire bloodlines. When the descendants of Sion, I think that's Sion's Cove. No, it's not Sion's Cove. That's what I thought at first, too. I think it's the god, Saion.
Oh.
Saion? I don't remember how it was pronounced. I apologize, friends. When the descendants of whatever that is were killed, the Siren rose against the deities responsible. They didn't die because they fell into a depression, nor did their bloodline simply become so diluted that they eventually died out. Another deity had killed them. Many of those bloodlines died at one deity's hand, the one that so many believed was different. Even I did at one time. How could I not believe that he was different? After all, he's descended from the king of gods. He couldn't be like the others. Poppy asks, Malik? Alistair nods and says, but a lot of people were wrong. I was wrong. He was the worst of them all. And then I put, wait. King Malik? The one that's responsible for turning his mistress into the first vampire? The one that Alistair was blood sworn to? He's descended from the king of gods? So this is when we're starting to find bloodline. And he's the one that killed off the other deity bloodlines. What? And I said,
So Malek killed off the deities, is what he's saying right now.
Yes. Because he is a bloodline that killed.
Because he's the son of Nyktos.
Yeah.
Did they say son or he's just descendant?
Descendants.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Good correction there.
Sorry, you're right. He says that few knew what he was capable of, but he did, meaning like Alistair.
Yeah.
Queen Iluana and King Balin did, and that's why he broke. I said, is that why he broke his bond to Malik? Because he thought he was a threat to the kingdom? Or do we know what happened to Malik? Did he die off? ? Which we know now that we don't know.
Okay, hold on a second.
We know now that we don't know.
No, I'm just looking at my notes. And I didn't even because, like, you know, this crackpot theory about the mistress having a baby and how we just, like, thought about this just now? I have that in my notes here. So does something get said? I put the blood of King Malek, not his dad. Don't know what that's referring to. Then I put, so his mistress had a baby? Her queen? ?
What?
Like, I'm saying it as if that was confirmed in the...
I don't remember this being confirmed.
Me either, but why am I saying this like I'm so
he could sense...
Oh, I did too!
So there's a thing!
Let me read my next note. Alistair says that King Malik's ability sounded a lot like Poppy's. I said, does this mean that Poppy is descended from King Malek, from the king of the gods? Is that why she's so powerful? And then I said, oh my God, what if Poppy's mom was the product of the king and the mistress's love affair? And that is the real reason why the queen let her mom not ascend, because she found out that her mom couldn't because she's part deity. So I don't know if it was confirmed. Maybe that I was just thinking.
So he does say he could sense emotion like the empath bloodline. It was believed that their line branched off from the one that birthed Malik. No. Having mingled with the changeling line.
I literally wrote, so his mistress had a baby? ? Her queen? ? Like, meaning, I think the Queen of Solis. Her queen? Like, I don't know. I literally wrote, so the mistress had a baby, as if that was said.
As if it was factual.
Yes.
She does talk about it. So, going to the next page. No.
A baby?
So, going to the next...
The queen? The baby? The baby! Sorry.
Which is really funny because my baby is kicking me right now. They're like, baby? The deity who had created the very first descended. Actions led to thousands of death, if not more. That was in my blood. I couldn't believe what Alistair was saying. It sounded as impossible as what Duchess Tierman had claimed about the Queen of Solis being my grandmother. That was impossible. Maybe this is where you guys are getting the theory. Malik had many mistresses. Some were mortal, some weren't. And he had children with some of them, offspring who spread across the kingdom, settling in areas far west from here. It is not at all impossible. There are many others like you who never reached the age of the culling. You are his descendant.
Meaning that Alistair knew there was others like her that they killed. There's many others
that never made it to the culling.
They never made it to the culling for whatever reason.
Or did they get turned into vampires?
Oh, I took that as like Alistair and them have been hunting off these.
For that.
Well, she does say good gods were Alistair and Jansen, and who knows how many others responsible for the deaths of children over the course of the centuries. It was written in the bones of your namesake before gods went to sleep. When the last chosen with the last chosen blood spilled, the great conspirator birthed from flesh and fire of the primals will awaken as the harbinger and the bringer of death and destruction to the lands gifted by the gods. Beware, for the end will come from the west to destroy the east and lay waste to all which lies between.
The west being Solis, I'm assuming that means.
In the
Yes.
east being too.
I had a few notes before the prophecy.
But this is probably where you guys are getting the children theories.
Maybe.
Alistair admits that Poppy and Hawk's relationship is real, and he can believe that now. And he feels bad because he does like Poppy and that he knows that this will hurt Cass. But he says that he has to do it because of the blood she carries in her is that of Nyktos and the king of Malak inside her. And I said, I don't really know where my thought was going this, but I put it all in caps. So I was very excited about it. I put, Gah! Is this why Kieran says she smells of death? Because because Malak is the
king of
or
death,
not Malak
or whatever.
Nyktos is the
Interesting.
Isn't it said earlier though that she doesn't smell of death, she just smells old?
He kind of explained it in that way.
Doesn't it say that earlier though? Kieran says, you don't smell like dead.
he doesn't say like death. He says of death.
He said, and he ended up clarifying more ancient.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which also could be a god. They're ancient.
The most ancient of gods.
The most ancient.
So and then I put Malak had a lot of mistresses, had children with a few of them. So that's what Kristen was talking about. There were others like her that did not reach the age of the culling. Alistair hunted them all down, didn't he? And I said, he was the one that wanted to kill Poppy when her parents were killed, wasn't he?
Oh, I put that in my next note here too.
Which we found out, obviously.
He must
there,
admit this right here. Because I called that he killed her parents because they were Malak's bloodline. So that must be coming up here. That's my next note.
Must be.
Do they confirm that he's Malak's?
No,
that's not confirmed. Just
what
assumed.
it's left at is that it's just Alistair's theory. That's kind of where they've left it. I said he was never trying to help Atlanteans find their way back home, was he? He was manhunting children, and he was using that as his cover-up.
So is he any better than the Ascended?
Right. And then Alistair says it's not just the bloodline, that they have been warned about her a long time ago. It was written in the bones of your namesake before the gods went to sleep. And then it goes into the prophecy, which Kristen's already read, so I won't reread it. And Alistair says Poppy is the one of prophecy.
How do they know, though?
He's assuming, I think.
Yeah.
Because, Harry Potter reference, Voldemort assumed the prophecy was Harry Potter, but it could have been Neville.
Exactly.
Yeah, and by assuming it was Harry, it became
that
Harry.
created it. Exactly. It's
interesting. And then I put all in caps. Alistair says that he met Poppy before and her eyes were ancient even then. He was the fucking one. The fucking asshole. It wasn't Victor he reminded her of. It was the man from her nightmare. He had come to help them to safety, said that her parents always knew what the Ascended were and that her mother was never a lady in wait. She was a handmaiden to the queen, which are like personal guards. Which Poppy doesn't believe because she's like, that my mom defended herself. Alistair says that it wasn't him that struck down her father or betrayed her mother.
But he didn't stop
But it doesn't matter because he would have. He would have killed them and her. Poppy asks who did it then, the Craven? And Alistair says there were Craven there that night. You carry the scars from some of them. And then he said he led them there, the Dark One. And I put, not Cass. And then I put, okay, not Cass. Then who?
Right? Who's the true Dark?
Yeah. Which I don't think we found an answer out to that yet, right?
Correct.
Alistair says he knew who she was and who she came from and said that the darkness arrived and he let it in and walked away thinking his job was done. He didn't know that she had survived the Craven attack. Fucking asshole. Alistair says he cannot transform into a wolf anymore because he broke his bond, which is why he doesn't have the pull to Poppy like the others did when Poppy's ancient power revealed itself. And he says that he can't kill Poppy because the Wolven know of her now and that her death would make her a martyr and that it will start a war. And then the chapter ends with Poppy asking, what are you going to do with me then? And Alistair responds, I'm going to give the Ascended what they were so desperate to keep. I will give them you. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop here. We're going to call this episode a day and we will pick up chapters 5 through 25 to finish that first half the next time we record. So that's going to be its own podcast, and hopefully it will not be super long.
I do feel though like when we always do this when we start recording, we always go through like the first 5 or 6 chapters takes us like an hour and a half because we do a lot of our theorizing then
in hindsight of the things that happen later.
So then like when we get later, it's like not as
the best part of it is the first few chapters.
So that's what we're going to do for now.
Okay. But if you'd like to continue the conversation, please follow us on any social media platform at Your Bookmark Pod. Comment, give us a positive rating, and email us yourbookmarkpod@gmail.com. We want to hear what you have to say.
What did you guys think of the first 4 chapters?
Do you think we talk too much?
Yeah, if you're like, could you guys just stop talking so much?
Did you guys maybe know?
Be so great.
You can listen to us at 1.5 speed. It's fine.
That's true. It's going to be basically 45 minutes or whatever. However that, I don't know how to math that. But...
Math plus math equals math.
Exactly. So anyway, yes. Thanks for sticking it out with us this long, friends. Our next episode is going to cover chapters 5 through 25 of the first half of this book because we went off on a bit of tangents today. But until then, we will see you at your next chapter.
Bye.
Bye.